And last thing I want to say, where is the theme song? I miss the theme song. Is it gone forever? Hi everyone, my name is Dimitri and welcome back to Dimitri 2. Bachelor in Paradise, night 1, let's talk about it. Sorry for the delay everyone. Last Tuesday, it was like 96 degrees in Washington DC, and not only that, I had to get a tetanus shot. So after I was wrapped up with work, I was done for the day. I really just couldn't do anything else. And the episodes don't post on Disney Plus until Tuesday. So I didn't have a chance to watch the episode until later in the week. And of course, work was hectic, and then over the weekend I had to go to 2 events, so it was like no time to film, but we're back and I'm on it. And this week there's apparently 2 new episodes. If a lot happens on the first episode, I'll do 2 videos, but if not, I'll probably just merge it all into one review. And just one more thing before we dive into the review, I've also been watching Love Island, and they finally had the season finale. And y'all, I think The Bachelor may be cooked. Like, I think everyone has kind of moved on to Love Island, and y'all, Love Island is doing numbers. Like, they are doing Pilot Pete season numbers. Like, Maddie Prue, Victoria F, and Hannah Suss, like, the numbers they were getting on social media, those are the numbers Islanders on Love Island are getting, but even crazier. And I'm not completely sure if it's a lot of bots, but from their social media followings, like, the Islanders are becoming way more popular than even the leads of Bachelor, which is like pretty wild. Like, we may need to jump ship to that show. But also, we need to watch and see where this goes, because Bachelor very much has a legacy, whereas Love Island doesn't. Also, apparently this season of Love Island was the worst season they've ever had. And I was entertained, but it was a terrible season. I probably need to watch a prior season to understand how it's supposed to go. But oftentimes with a lot of these reality shows, when it gets more popular, that's when it gets ruined, and apparently that's what's happening with Love Island. Okay, that's all I got. Let's dive into the review. And for this review, I'm not gonna go in like chronological order. I'm just gonna talk about the contestants and like things that were important. First, ABC changed the way this show is filmed. So I watched this on streaming, but y'all let me know, does this show still air like on TV, like on cable, like Mondays and Tuesdays? Is that still a thing? Or is this only on streaming? As we all know, cable TV is cooked. It's just a matter of when will it be done. And I do think ABC is struggling to like find their footing in this new landscape of like streaming versus like live TV, etc., etc. Anyways, for the episode itself, so they switched to like more of a documentary style format, and this is not unique to The Bachelor. A lot of reality shows are doing this. Making the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders did this. The Kardashians kind of did this as well. Like, I guess from switching to cable TV to streaming, or at least that's more of the focus. I don't know why they do it. They're switching to this more documentary style. I don't know if it's because I'm getting old and I'm just resisting change, but I preferred the old format. But I understand the old format was like 20-minute episodes, and now we have hour-long episodes. Like, I mean, I don't understand why they have to, like, why they feel the need to have an hour-long episode. Sorry, I forgot to include this when I was filming. And this may sound like conspiracy theory or whatever, but I don't care. So now that, like, we're going from, like, legacy companies to, like, tech companies owning the streaming, and because of that, the focus isn't on television. It's about content and just keeping you on the platform as long as possible. So I think the goal is to just keep you there as long as possible, so their episodes are an hour long versus like 30 minutes. I prefer the more fun, lighthearted reality TV style, and then also having commercials kind of like broke it up a little bit, but now there's no commercials, so there's less to like break it up. And specifically with Bachelor in Paradise, now that it's more of a documentary style format, it's not as camp. And that is one thing that I loved about Bachelor in Paradise. It was so campy, and it didn't take itself as seriously as Bachelor or Bachelorette. And that's what made it more fun. I think it's kind of sad that they're getting away from that. And if you watch America's Sweethearts on Netflix, the show about making the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, it's the same thing. That show is so serious now, but when it was on country music television, it was more fun and lighthearted and goofy. And last thing I want to say, where is the theme song? I miss the theme song. Is it gone forever? Okay, first up, let's talk about Spencer. Yeah, Spencer is hot, but he is very boring. And not only that, he comes across very weird on camera. Like, you can tell he's trying to ham it up for the cameras. Him and Justin were doing this, and a little bit of Kat too. They were trying to ham it up for the cameras. I guess they're assuming they're gonna have similar editing to what they had on the previous Paradise, but it's not that style of editing anymore. And I hate to say it, with this new style of editing, at points, Spencer almost came across as like a serial killer. Next, if you've made it this far in the video, please go ahead and pound that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Anyways, Spencer connects with Jess on the island. Is it an island? Anyways, Spencer connects with Jess in Costa Rica, and I didn't even recognize Jess. Jess was on Joey's season, and since then she has lost a lot of weight, and she also lost a lot of her accent as well. Like, at first I didn't even recognize her. And Jess also gets pursued by Sam. Sam was not in the original batch of guys, but he comes later on and gets a one-on-one date card and tries to steal Jess away from Spencer. And it ends up not working. Sam later on gets sent home. This is just my opinion. I wish Jess had picked Sam over Spencer, because Spencer to me is like kind of annoying. I would have been okay with him leaving night one. Also, Sam is just more interesting reality television. Like, I do think this was kind of a miss on production. Sam probably should have been in the initial batch of guys. I thought Sam and Jess had more chemistry. Spencer and Jess, to me, kind of just seemed like two hot people hanging out. Like, I'm really not seeing the chemistry. And if I was Jess, this would be a little bit of a tough call, because Sam is just sexier. Like, Sam has way more sex appeal than Spencer, but also at the same time, Sam has a bad reputation from Jen's season. But it's not, but to me, his reputation isn't that bad. Whereas Spencer to me is more boyfriend material. Spencer is just goofier. Like, when I look at Sam, I'm like, oh, he's sexy. Don't get me wrong, Spencer is very attractive, but I'm not seeing the sex appeal. Like, he's very like reliable boyfriend, goofy, a guy you can hang out with and have fun with. And I guess like the sex appeal can grow over time, but it's definitely not immediate right now. Next, let's talk about the casting. What did y'all think of the casting this season? When I first saw the cast, I'm not gonna lie, I was not very impressed, but the contestants are kind of growing on me. We'll talk about it more as the video progresses, but some of the casting choices I just don't understand, or I just don't think were good choices. Next is Alex. I did not really care for Alex on Grant's season, and I thought she was pretty not memorable. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure she's a good person, but I prefer when casting chooses people who are just more interesting TV versus necessarily like the nice people and fan favorites. And to me, she would be like, I guess, one of the nicer people fan favorites. Alex has Ricky and Jonathan fighting for her heart, and Ricky is very hot, but y'all, he's annoying. And this episode, it just seemed like he was just trying not to get eliminated. Like, I don't think he really cared to get to know any of the women. He was just doing whatever it took to not get eliminated, and it like reeked of desperation at a point, and I think the women could sense that. And I don't remember whose season Ricky was on, but whoever's it was, he got eliminated early, and I think he was trying to make sure that didn't happen, but of course it happened again. And then Jonathan, I love Jonathan, but for some reason I just feel like Paradise is just not a good fit for him, but so far he's doing okay. We'll keep watching. But at one point, Jonathan and Alex had a one-on-one, and I found Alex to be very annoying and immature. At one point, she was pointing out like Jonathan's deodorant was like showing a little bit, so it came off a little white, and she kept pointing it out. And she also said she refuses to date younger, which I thought was kind of immature. Women can date whoever they want, they can have whatever standards they want, but to refuse to date younger, I don't know, it just seemed immature to me. And like, you don't necessarily have to say that. Like, you could just keep that thought in your head, because I know there are a lot of women that prefer not to date younger, but again, the purpose of this show is to come on here and have an open mind, and like, I don't know, just saying something like that, it just shows you don't have an open mind coming in here. Alex ends up choosing Jonathan. I was excited for that because I do want to see more of Jonathan, but again, I am worried he's just not going to do well on this show. Next is Lexi. Lexi being on the show makes no sense. Like, maybe she got a new view on life or something. I don't know. But during Joey's season, she considered herself one of the older contestants. I think she was like 30 or 31. And she has endometriosis or something. And due to that, she wants to like find her person and have kids soon. But I guess a couple years later, she still hasn't found her person. So now she's here. And apparently she started like a dating service or a dating dating service company. I looked it up on her Instagram, but basically she holds events like meant for singles, I guess, in the Atlanta area, and she also sells merch. And I just find that so ironic because she can't find her person, but she's helping other people find their person. Like, the irony. And if you live in the Atlanta area and you check out her event, or you know someone who is going to check out their event, let me know below what happens in the comments, because I heard events like this normally do not go well. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but normally the men to women ratio is like terrible. Like, events like this frequently, like depending on the city, will have like 6 guys and then like 150 women. Anyways, so Lexi and Justin take an interest in one another. Honestly, Justin and Hannah B made more sense to me than Justin and Lexi, but Hannah B is engaged to some guy or something. Lexi and Justin were supposed to have a cool one-on-one, but it got rained out, so they had to have like a more chill date. But on the one-on-one, Justin talked about his ex Susie, who was on Clayton's season. It like didn't work out, and it made Lexi feel like Justin's not ready for a relationship. But earlier in the episode, when they first started talking about dating in their 30s and dating with intention. Dating to them is more straightforward and tends to be quicker. And fast forward to the cocktail party and the rose ceremony, Lexi ends up choosing Justin, but during the cocktail party, she like kind of hammed it up and was not sure she was gonna pick Justin because she was worried he was not over his ex. And Lexi was arguing that it was too soon possibly for Justin to be talking to someone after breaking up with his ex, but that was confusing to me because earlier in the episode, didn't y'all just talk about how dating in your 30s, you got to be intentional and not waste time? Like, clearly Justin's not wasting time. His ex didn't work out, and now he's trying to move on and see something with you. And yes, I get it. You don't want to be a rebound and you're concerned Justin may not be ready, but that's just something you got to feel out. Next is Hakeem. Y'all, I thought Hakeem's hair looked really bad, and the fact that this was shot in like 4K didn't help him at all. I didn't write anything down for Hakeem. I think he chilled with the bros and like tried to make a connection, but I don't think it worked out for him. Next, really quickly, we are no longer in Mexico. I forgot to mention this earlier. We're in Costa Rica. They're in a hotel, and the hotel has air conditioning. What a blessing. So clearly this place in Costa Rica is nicer. Also, did they ever mention where they're at? Like, are they trying to sell it this season, or you can't stay there? I need to pay more attention. This next episode, I'll pay more attention. Anyways, there are multiple reality shows that are filming in Costa Rica more. I do not know why this show is filming in Costa Rica now. And also, Love is Blind last season, I'm pretty sure filmed in Costa Rica as well. Maybe they just have better deals. I don't know. But I will say, this location, camera-wise, does not look as glam as Mexico was. And also, I kind of miss the old location in Mexico just because we got to like talk shit about it. And the other thing I want to mention is they have Wells again as the bartender, but they also brought in Hannah B to be like a relationship coordinator. I get it. People love Hannah B. She had an amazing season. People want to run it back, but her being on the show is kind of pointless. Wells is there as like someone to talk to, and he's a little bit of comic relief. And also he pushes storylines, and it's clear Hannah B is there because they want her to push storylines, which is fine, but like you can kind of have the other contestants push storylines. Like, I think they do a pretty good job of doing that in previous seasons. Like, putting Hannah B on this to do that, I just don't think was necessary. And I still feel strongly after this. After Chris Harrison got fired, they did a season and different comedians were hosting, and I think they had David Spade. Whatever season that was, they need to go back to that. Instead of having Jesse Palmer host, they really should bring in a comedian. But again, that also is better with the more camp format. This is more documentary style, so bringing in a comedian, like, that may make it more weird, but I don't know. I wish there was more comic relief this season, but there's not. At the moment, it's just not working. Let me know what y'all think of it so far. Next is Kyle. He was on Katie Thurston's season. I did not know or remember who this man was. I can't even remember who he pursued on the episode. I think Bailey. I think he was pursuing Bailey, but he didn't do a good enough job. He got eliminated, and at one point, it was almost giving pathetic. Next is Zoe. I'm not a big fan of Zoe, but we knew she was most likely going to be on Paradise due to what she gave for Grant's season. Zoe takes an interest in Dale, but she also shows interest in Brian, and at one point, she was hoping something would happen with Dale, but it was clear she had way more chemistry with Brian, and I'm like, why are you focused on Dale when you clearly have something with Brian? And don't get me wrong, Dale is like conventionally attractive, but I think I like Brian's personality a little more. And Brian's attractive as well. He has that Northeast, possibly Italian Sopranos kind of demeanor, and I like that. Zoe ends up coming to her senses and focusing on Brian, and she later on chooses Brian, so I like this for now. And one more thing about Zoe. So they play a game. Let me tell y'all, I did not understand the rules of this game, the point of this game. They had these like cutouts of people that had descriptions, and I guess you had to put if you like it or not. I think that's what the point is. And Zoe on hers had someone below 5'7" or above 6'5". So all of the male contestants were against her. And after it was revealed that was her cutout, she was like, oh, height doesn't matter to me. And I'm like, so if height doesn't matter to you, why would you say someone below 5'7" or above 6'5"? Like, that didn't make any sense. And then she said, oh, she just bruised all the guys' egos, that's why they didn't like her. Like, the whole thing just didn't make sense. And like, if height doesn't matter, just say height doesn't matter. Why say below 5'6" or over 6'5"? Like, it really didn't make sense. Next is Kat. Y'all, I really liked Kat last season, but just in general, the casting choices this season just are not making the most sense to me. Kat connects with Dale and they get a one-on-one date, and Dale is another casting choice that also didn't really make sense to me. Kat and Dale get a one-on-one date. They get an opportunity to go on the catamaran. This was a cool date, but Kat got a little seasick on the boat, which that would be the worst. Also, Kat and Justin both got one-on-ones, and they both have already been on Paradise. I think that's not fair. Like, give one-on-ones to people who haven't been here before. But when it comes to the one-on-one, Dale and Kat, I didn't see a whole lot of connection on this date. Again, just two hot people hanging out. And in general, I don't think Dale and Kat's personalities will mesh well. And lastly, we have Bailey and Jeremy. Y'all already know I absolutely love Jeremy. I think he's hot. I love his personality on social media. I hope he stays the entire season. And not only that, Jeremy was ready for this beach. He looks good. When it comes to Bailey and Jeremy, we just didn't see a lot of them. Like, I think it's just because we didn't see a lot of them. I didn't see a ton of chemistry. If y'all, what do y'all think? Let me know below in the comments if you disagree or if you think something else. And then for Bailey, when she was initially on Grant's season, she was an amazing contestant. But as the season progressed, her insecurities got the best of her, and I really hope that does not happen to her on Paradise. But we will just have to wait and see. And I think that's all I got for the video. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. If I missed something, let me know below in the comments and I'll let you know how I feel. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. And I will see you all next time. Have a good one. Bye.